Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Blackforexgroup coming to you with another pre-market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the Aussie USD, also known as the Australian dollar US dollar. But before we get started to break down this Forex pair, we have to state that this video is for education purposes only. This is not financial advice. Okay? So, but we all know why you guys are here. You want to find good for credible Forex content that can help improve one's ability as a trader and also help you put a little bit of money in your pocket, okay? Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and break down this currency pair, right? Now, the Australian dollar did have some good news come out about it. If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. So it's still been relatively one of our stronger currencies. It did have some weakness because towards the latter part of last week, we did have some poor economic news come out about the Australian dollar. But one poor economic news session doesn't negate the many that we kind of had before that. So, we got to kind of take that, which, as they say, with a grain of salt. Okay. Now the USD, as we stated in previous videos, it has a dark cloud hanging over it related to its inflation. And then also that inflation has also been catalyzed by the increase in gas prices, which was due to America sanctioning Russian oil and Russian energy all around the world. And then on top of that, we've had some very poor economic news come out about the USD over the last 48 hours. Okay. Now, lastly, we're going to have to pay attention to what's going to be happening around 2 o'clock about the federal interest rate. The Feds are planning on increasing the interest rate, but we do not know as by how much. They're predicting it's going to be 50%, but it may go up from 25 to 50%, which would be a 25% increase. Now, they can increase it less than that, or they can increase it more than that. So we're going to have to see how that plays out and have an effect on the USD. Okay. Now that we got the fundamentals out the way, let us talk about the technical analysis. Now, for the most part, we've been going up pretty steadily in an uptrend. And as I said, that we did have some poor economic news that caused it to have a much significant drop, right? Now, this may be perceived as a new low high and a new low low, a new low high and a new low low. But as I stated, we're going to have to see how the fundamentals are going to go about that. Because in order for this to really precipitate and go towards price turnover, that means that the USD is much stronger than the Australian dollar. Now, the only way that can happen is if the interest rate comes out in favor of the USD, it makes it strong, then we'll definitely have a push towards the downside. Okay, but for the most part, if we stay on our fundamental trajectory that we've been on, this is basically just very aggressive retracement due to the investment banks did not like price in this area, so they wanted to bring price down some more before they started to bring price back up again. Okay, so we could continue to see a push up. We could continue to see a push up to this area here before we start to get some shaky rumblings and start to have a pathetic push down and go up. But we have to clear this area here, and this area here before we can truly say that we're going in for we're sustaining our uptrend. 9 times out of 10, which is more likely in this scenario, what's going to happen is that we can possibly even start ranging out with this being our new low in this area or this area possibly being our new high. Okay, so we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Now, is there a possibility for full turnover in price? Yes, there is, but that's if the federal interest rate does increase the strength of the USD. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out at 2 o'clock. But for right now, from a fundamental standpoint, the Aussie is much stronger than the USD. So we should start to see significant push ups. So we start to get to this area here before we start to see any consolidation or rumbling. Okay. Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.